You don't know if any of us on the panel prayed like that or not. You don't
That's
know.
why I'm asking.
Look at this, the
Stop
whole
asking us.
congregation. Look at
Right,
this, the
stop
whole
asking
congregation.
us. Right,
That's in
exactly.
a church.
Look at all
That's
those
not a
Muslims.
mosque. That's not a mosque.
Look at all those Muslims.
Look at all of the Muslims.
Hi amazing viewers, welcome back to Religious Insight. On this episode of this debate with Godlogic, a Muslim claims that Jesus is not the Messiah, and the question is, if Jesus is not the Messiah, then who is the other Messiah that this guy is talking about? Let's watch this video to find out what actually happened.
Well, no, I think it's just, there's no point if your New Testament doesn't comport with the Old Testament.
That's not what we asked. We're talking about Isaiah 42 and the arguments made there. So here.
So who do you think
It's
Isaiah
okay,
42 speaking about?
Black Doctor, it's okay. Hold on, it's okay.
That's okay. We're just
It's okay.
talking.
This
We're
is
just
this.
talking.
Okay.
We're just talking.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on, Habibi. Hold on. Okay.
So,
All
yeah,
right. So you said that Jesus is a false Messiah. That's a study. You wanted to say something?
yeah. So Jesus is a false God, a false prophet, and a false Messiah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
Tasty stuff. Tasty stuff.
Go ahead, study.
Okay. So what is your worldview? Are you Jewish? Are you
I'm Muslim. I'm Muslim, yeah.
And you said that Jesus is not the Messiah?
Jesus is not the Messiah. Jesus is a false man God.
So Jesus is not the Messiah, and you're a Muslim.
No way.
And he's not trolling.
So watch this.
I'm 100%
Watch this. Obi-Wan, who is the Messiah?
Isa ibn Maryam is a Messiah.
He's a Messiah. Wait, hold on. There's another Messiah other than Isa?
Yeah.
Other than Isa?
Yeah, there's other Messiahs. Of course.
Show me that in the Quran. Another Messiah.
Even in your Old Testament, there's other Messiahs.
Wait. Show me in the Quran another Messiah other than Isa.
Didn't you have this conversation with Sheikh Uthman? Didn't you get corrected?
Yeah, and it got butchered on it.
I don't think so. I think the opposite.
So here. If Uthman cooked him, how about you use the very same sources that he used? Go ahead, fam.
Well, I don't need to. I can literally go to your own scripture. You believe in the Bible.
No, hold on, Obi. This ain't about us. This is about us. We're asking.
It's not about you. This whole thing's about you.
Hold on, Obi. You're in our live. This is not a democracy. This is a dictatorship. So
bro, you can kick me if you want, bro. If you don't want to speak, you can kick me.
You're in the court of Black Doctor. So whatever you say can and will be held against you. About your beliefs, Habibi. So you said, according to your belief, that there are multiple messiahs. Is there a source in relationship to Islamic theology that has the claim that there are multiple messiahs? You said that Uthman cooked Avery on this. So here, do as Uthman did. Use the Islamic sources that tell us that there is more than one messiah. Do it, Obi.
What does Messiah mean in the Arabic?
I asked you a question, Habibi.
You know so much. What does Messiah mean in the Arabic?
The term Messiah can mean multiple things according to your scholars. It can mean one who travels. It can mean one who
Black
lies.
Doctor, if your court, do you not realize what's about to happen?
Flat-footed. It means flat-footed, traveler.
So Avery knows. Avery knows.
They don't know. They don't know. So please give us the answer, please.
Knows. So Avery knows.
Give me a reference that says anyone else is a Messiah in Islam.
Right. So going back to the point, your Messiah is a false Messiah according to your own.
You already made that claim.
You already made that claim, dude.
Yeah.
So
you don't need to defend your Messiah. That's the next stage. You need to defend your man God.
Obi-Wan, please. Obi-Wan, you're not gonna last long, bro, if it goes like this. I actually want you up here. Let's do this, and we're gonna do this. Okay? You already said that Jesus is the false Messiah. Fine. Jesus is the false Messiah. You said that Isa is the real Messiah, or a Messiah. Actually, you said he's a Messiah, and you're saying that there's other Messiahs in Islam. So I need a source. Give me the Quran verse or something else in Islam that shows me that anyone else other than Isa in your Quran is a Messiah. Go ahead. Don't waffle on nothing I didn't ask. Please give me that.
So again, it's a case of semantics. It's like you said, there's multiple meanings behind the word Messiah. right? So for instance, it's a case that there's 124,000 prophets that we know of that's mentioned in the Quran, but by name we don't know all of their names. Likewise, we may not know all of the messiahs that were mentioned. Doesn't mean they didn't exist. We're not going to say, oh, the 124,000 doesn't exist because it's not mentioned by name, right? So I think this is pretty obvious, Abe. I think you know the answers, and you are trying to divert. You don't want to talk about why your messiah is a false messiah. There are some
So you're admitting there's no source?
blunders that even your New Testament makes when it comes to, who the Messiah is supposed to be, the way that Paul mistranslates.
You have no source in Islam that says that anybody other than Isa
he's possessed. He's unhinged. He doesn't even know Hebrew, to be honest with you.
Obi-Wan, are you saying that there's no source in Islam that tells you that there's anybody that's a Messiah other than Isa? Are you acknowledging that you don't have a single reference to that?
You heard my argument. Please don't. Now try and contend with the issue that your Old Testament does not comport with the New Testament.
By the way, you're not even understanding what they're saying. They didn't ask you for the names. They just simply asked you for.
He understood. He was just ignoring it. That's why he's gone now.
Because there's no source. There's no
Bro, he's an idiot.
Actually, in chapter 9, verse 30 of the Quran, before the 31, the one where it says Allah ibn Isa ibn Maryam, but in chapter 9, verse 30, it makes him the head of what is understood as the Christians, right? And they make it. They say, well, I believe he is the son. The Jews are the sons of Ezra, right? And then they go on to say that the Christians are or Isa's the son, or the Christians are the sons of Isa, right? So they actually give him an authoritative role as a Messiah in chapter 9, verse 30 of the Quran.
Yeah. And Jesus is named in the Old Testament, right? So I was going to bring it up, but he didn't warrant it, right? He didn't last long because he was just running his mouth. But we have scriptures that name the Messiah, right? And say what the Messiah is going to do and say when the Messiah is going to do it, right? And Jesus fits the bill perfectly. So if we get another Muslim or hopefully a Jew that makes the same argument, we're going to have a real good time.
It's gonna be okay. Hold on. Oh, he added me?
Yeah,
I sure did. How are you?
It was 2 days ago.
So we gonna put our money where our mouth is. More like putting your
What'd you
money
say?
where your mouth is.
What'd you say?
You said you requested and we didn't let you up.
Oh, sorry. I was saying someone. My bad. Can you explain Matthew 26:39?
Yeah, what about it?
Yeah, what about it? Hello? Is it just me or did she cut out?
No, she's just muted right now.
Yeah, she stopped talking.
No, she's just muted. Where'd she go?
No, she's gone.
What's that?
I'm Masih.
Oh, he said salam. Okay, yeah. Salam alaikum.
How are you, bro? How you doing?
I'm pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I'm okay, man. I got a few questions.
Okay.
All right, so my first question is, was Christianity ever mentioned in the Bible?
Yes. In 1 Peter chapter 4, Peter the apostle says, if anyone suffers for being a Christian, do not be ashamed, but rejoice.
What's the verse?
1 Peter chapter 4, I believe it's verse 16, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, let me check. Yeah.
Also, I believe there's a mention to the Antiochian Christians in the book of Acts.
Yes,
as well, right?
twice in the book of Acts.
1 Peter 4:16, Acts 26:28, and there's a third reference as well.
Can somebody read that verse up for us?
And I'm going to read the context real quick. Hold on.
If any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify God on this behalf.
And let's see, Acts chapter 22, was it right?
Yep. Acts 26:28 as well.
26, 28. I'll get that. 26 and then verse 28, because Paul is talking with Herod Agrippa. And Agrippa said to Paul, in a short time, would you persuade me to be a Christian? Verse 29, Paul said, whether short or long, I would to God that not only you, but also all who hear me this day might become such as I am, except for these chains. And then in Acts chapter 11, I believe it is, it was in Antioch when the followers of Jesus were first called Christians.
Yep. And the word Christian originally was actually an insult word for believers, because it meant little Christ.
So Acts 11:26, Acts 26:28, and then 1 Peter 4:16. You got it, Ali?
Yeah.
And
I'm reading the context. Give me a minute.
And a worthy mention is in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 26 and 27, where he verily calls it a religion. Just so you know.
So yes, Christianity is mentioned. Full panel here now. We can't even open up there. I wish we could open up more spaces, but only
technically not Christianity that's mentioned.
Where do you think the term
Christian refers to?
Sure, it's Christian, but the actual name of the religion is Christianity, is it not?
Yep. So what's the word? So when somebody follows the religion of is Islam, or if someone is a Muslim, what religion do they follow? What's the religion called colloquially?
Islam.
There you go.
Islam is mentioned in the Quran.
So in the exact same way, when people are called Christians and they follow the Messiah, what is it called?
Christian, but that means to be Christianity.
Well, no, it doesn't. Christian means to follow Christ or to follow in the religion of Christianity. So here,
guys. There's like we're at a point here where when someone shows us if their question is genuine or not is by how they respond to the answer they gave or they were given. And what he is doing now is still trying to argue against where it says if you suffer as a Christian to glorify God in that, and all the places where it identifies Christians. Now he's trying to, well, it's not Christianity. It's not the word Christianity. That just shows that the question was disingenuous in the first place. So, my friend, you get your answer. What is your next question? Because depending on your next question, is going to depend on how long you stay up on the stage. If you show disingenuousness, I'll bring up the next guest, bro. We're not going to waste time breaking down Christian and Christianity, doing all of that.
All right. So my next question is.
So what's your next question?
So where does Christ mention that he is God? And I'm not talking about another person referencing that he is God. Himself saying he is God.
Can I have it? Can I have it? Please, pretty please? With a cherry on top, please?
Give it to him.
Go ahead, Light.
Yo, I'm just asking questions and your comments are flipping out. This is crazy.
All right. So real quickly, all right? In the Quran itself, right? Because I'm trying to set a mutual understanding real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
In the Quran, in chapter 57, verse 3, Allah is the first and the last, right?
Yes.
Right. And then Revelations 22:13, who is the first and the last? Revelations 22:13, Jesus himself says that he is the first and the last, the Alpha and the Omega.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you agree that Allah is the first and the last, and that title first and last can only be applied to God, correct?
I'm not sure about the Bible, but I know in the Quran that's what it is.
Right, and that title applies only to God, correct?
In the Quran, yes.
Right. And it's the same thing in the Bible as well. Isaiah 48:12, that's only applied to God. Isaiah 43 verse 10, it's applied to God. Only God can have that title, right? And
Okay.
Jesus himself gives himself that title in Revelations 22:13. He also gives himself that title in Revelations 1:7, 1:17 as well. So if Jesus is the one that's giving himself that title, right? And God is the only one that can have that title, what does that make Jesus?
All right, I understand.
What's the conclusion? What does it make Jesus?
The Bible says
Who claims
Jesus
that title for
is
us?
God, where Jesus says that.
Well, in your context, he must be God. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, that's honest. That's honest.
So I got another like more of like an example. So in the Bible, if you were to replace every single name, for example, when it mentions Christ, if you were to replace that with, let's say, your name, would you consider that blasphemy?
Well, you have to deal with the evidence that you have, not the evidence that you wished you have. Like, so for example, like, we wouldn't dare put our names next to the title Christ or Christo, if that's what you're asking.
No, I'm saying if it was.
Can you just build on that a
Christ's
little
name,
bit?
Yeah, Jai, go ahead.
Yeah, just explain exactly what you're saying, because
Okay. So I'm saying replace every single time that Christ is mentioned with a different name, like yourself. And if you were reading that yourself, would that be blasphemy the way that you're understanding it?
do you know why it would be? Because we're not God. Christ is God.
We wouldn't apply that to ourselves. We would basically, as the New Testament, which is also a fulfillment of the Old Testament, that basically Jesus Christ is the God incarnate, right? And therefore that title, Christos, which comes from the Hebrew word Mashiach, and also tying into Daniel chapter 7, that this is a divine title, we would not apply our own names to that, because yes, it would be blasphemy, because that name only belongs to Jesus Christ.
Would it be blasphemy if you replaced your name everywhere you see Allah in the Quran?
Yes, but that was not my point. My point was, if I was to replace a name in the Bible and then read it as is, would that person be committing blasphemy?
So Ali, I think what he's referring to, brothers, is, you know, that Jesus is fully God and fully man, right? So if we say John 11:35, Jesus wept. If we said Avery wept, right?
Yeah.
You know, but what you're conflating is that God incarnated, right? So Jesus holds two offices. His kingly office, right? He's God, right? Who the Father has set on his mountain, Psalm 2:6, and his high priesthood, or his priestly function, right, is as a man, right? He's come to take the sins away from the world, right? So in Isaiah 59:16, this is what it says. God saw that there was no man, absolutely no man, therefore his arm brought salvation and his righteousness sustained him, right? So this branch, this branch that's going to come from David, who is the son of God, who is not an ordinary man, he is the God man, right, is going to come down, right, and perform the priestly function of taking away the sins of the world. So yes, Jesus does some things that are fully human, right?
Yeah.
And then he does some things that are fully God, because he's fully God and fully human, right? So that's what the text. So if you're alluding to that, you're playing semantics, right? Only Jesus could do what he did, right? Only he could take away the sins of the world. Only God can take away the sins of the world.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know if he's leaving or not. Oh,
No, hold on. I was just looking at a different.
Okay.
Looking at a different question. Go ahead, Jai. You wanted to say something?
I'm waiting to see what his next question is.
All right, so yeah, I got one more question.
All right, go ahead.
So, in the Bible, it mentions the way that Christ prays, right? So
Can I take this, please?
Go for it.
So yeah,
wait, I didn't
Ali.
even finish.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying that it. Yeah, I'm just saying it does mention where Christ prays. Could you tell us where?
Sure, let me.
Goodness gracious.
I'm tired. I'm impatient, bro.
I sense a Dawa script coming, but anyways.
You sense a doubt script. Just now you late.
Matthew. Fine. You heard me, guys? Matthew 26:39.
Yeah, we knew you were gonna go there, but go ahead.
We already knew you were going here.
Yes, okay.
I'll state it verbatim.
I'm not trying to be like, oh, gotcha. I'm just really trying to understand, and you guys are just being like pretty condescending. But
well, no, let's allow.
oh yeah, go ahead. Can you explain the context of that verse?
So
wait. What is your question on the verse? He hasn't asked his question on the verse.
So what's your
question on the verse?
What I was going to ask, like, why is he going to this passage?
So if Christ prays like a Muslim, why don't you guys do the same as the Bible does? And why is it changed now?
So hang on for a second.
I got it. I said I got it.
All right, go ahead.
Let Avery handle this, and then I'll take care of the rest.
Now that we got the question out, and we got the argument, now we can deal exactly with what we already knew what was happening, but at least let it get out first.
Correct.
Right. So Black Dog, I heard you call dibs on it, so do your thing, man.
Awesome. So you are making the argument correct that when Jesus prays, he prays like a Muslim. This is exactly how Muslims pray, correct?
Yeah.
So let's read the whole verse.
Sure.
And going a little farther, he fell on his face and prayed, saying, "My Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will." So let me ask you this question. Let's break this down. Are you asserting that only Muslims pray with their heads to the ground?
No.
Aha! So, that does not prove that he's a Muslim.
Sure, but my main question was, if that is the way that praying is portrayed in the Bible, why don't you guys do that?
The reason why I asked that, the reason why I was literally about to answer that before you interrupted me. So the reason why
let's not wait. Let's not let him get away with no. You made your point by saying if Jesus prayed like a Muslim, since Jesus prayed like a Muslim, why don't you guys pray like this?
Yeah.
Right.
So your point was that Jesus prayed like a Muslim. So
yeah,
that's why Black Doctor is addressing that.
Yeah,
like a Muslim.
Exactly. I didn't say anything.
But you did though, because the main argument here is that since Jesus put his head to the ground, then he prays like a Muslim. But then you just said that not only Muslims pray with their heads to the ground. If that's the case, then this automatically blows your argument that Jesus was a Muslim because he prayed with his head to the ground.
No, that wasn't my question. My question is, why don't you guys follow the Bible the same way it was?
Hold on. Number two, Christians do pray with their heads to the ground. Orthodox Christians pray with their heads to the ground. Catholics pray with their heads to the ground. And Anglicans pray with their heads to the ground. So
Protestants do too.
So yeah, and other Protestants do too.
It's not the majority. 90% of them do not do that.
So we do.
How many of you on the panel pray like that?
We do. Hold on, Ali.
The biggest denomination.
Hold on.
Wait, I want to see that statistic, Black Doctor. Show me the source that says 99% of Christians don't pray. With
I said 90.
Yeah, show me the 90%. Show me.
Right. So what's the source that says 90% of Christians don't pray with their heads to the ground?
Yeah, where is that?
What's your source?
Every now and then, guys, when a Muslim comes, I know we hear this like a million times, literally deal with it all the time, $2,200, yada, 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 right? It's on the line. We can have some fun with it. We can play around. I want to see the source now, because this is new. 90% of Christians statistically do not pray with their heads to the ground.
Okay,
I'd like to see where he got that.
Right.
So
And as he's looking up the source, can you just give me as he's looking up the source, can you give me the big screen? I don't need to be unmuted. You guys can still talk. I just want to show a video as he's looking up the
How
source.
many of you guys pray like a Muslim?
I want a source, my friend.
Dude, we asked you for a source.
I want a source.
Don't run from it. Do not run.
No,
because
before I show you the source, answer the question.
No, you have to answer the question by giving us the source, friend. You said,
I'm trying to get a consensus. I'm trying to get a consensus.
Hold on, Ali.
You don't need to be condescending by being like, hold on.
Look. Check this out.
I'm not trying to be condescending.
You're not trying, but you are.
Look what the Coptic priest is doing. Look at that. He's
That's
teaching
fine.
people how to do it. Now look
That's
at this.
fine.
This is a
Dude,
Russian Orthodox church.
if you think majority of
Russian
churches
Orthodox
look like
church.
that, you're lying to yourself.
This is
a Russian Orthodox
literally
church.
how they worship.
This is not majority of Christianity. You're showing the minority.
What do you mean?
So I don't hold on. How did the argument go from 90% of Christians don't pray like this to how many of you guys up here on the panel pray like this? Go
Right,
because I
find the source
guarantee
that
you, 9 out of 10
actually
of you guys
said
do not pray like
you
that.
don't know if any of us on the panel prayed like that or not. You don't
That's
know.
why I'm asking.
Look at this. The
Stop
whole
asking
congregation.
us.
Look at
Right,
this. The
stop
whole
asking
congregation.
us. Right,
That's in
exactly.
a church.
Look at all
That's
those
not a
Muslims.
mosque. That's not a mosque.
Look at all those Muslims. Look at all of the Muslims.
That's fine.
So
in America, you would
instead of
never catch
asking
someone
us,
like this.
stop talking.
You would never catch someone like this in America.
Jai, why is there a cross in that masjid?
No joke. Literally
Exactly.
12 minutes away from me, there's an Orthodox church where they pray like this. 12 minutes away from me, they pray just like this, right?
Okay.
So now, Ali,
Look, we
stop
have
talking,
ancient Christian
right?
art. Ancient Christian art. Look at this.
You stop talking, light. Let me ask you something real quick.
No.
So no.
You have to wait. What? Stop talking and go
Stop
find the
talking, Light.
source instead of saying,
Right,
Stop
yeah.
talking.
"You guys
Stop
pray like this."
interrupting me, Light.
Go find the source.
Stop interrupting
you
me,
said
Light.
you find it. You said statistically, 90% of
interrupting
Christians
me,
do
Light.
not pray like this. Go find the source. Once you
Stop
can find it,
interrupting me,
then you
Light.
can talk.
I still
It was
think
anecdotal. It was anecdotal.
Ethiopian Christians. Ethiopian Christians. Check it out.
Right. So again, Ali, you made the claim that 90% of Christians do not pray with their heads to the ground.
Okay, sure. It was anecdotal.
All right, you can take
confirmed.
fish.
Hold
I'll
on.
tell you it wasn't
I can't
confirmed.
even get the question out,
I'm
fam.
telling
Hold
you
on.
now, it wasn't confirmed and it's anecdotal.
So where is the source?
I'm telling you right now that it's not confirmed and it's anecdotal. Thank you.
So now we've come to the point that you are just speaking out of nothing. So as we've seen, Christians.
So can you answer one of my questions real quick?
So hold on.
See, you're not letting me speak back. You're not. You're just talking
You're
to
the one
me.
talking when I'm talking.
But you're not letting me talk.
Here, I don't want to mute you.
You're not letting me talk.
We did let you talk.
You're being
not
immature.
letting me talk. So calm down, friend, because I'm trying to be nice. I don't want to mute you. So
You're being
as
very
we've
immature.
just seen- as we've just seen, because you lied, or you're just talking out of nowhere.
So let me ask you
Is
this:
Jesus?
Talking
So
out of
here, don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me.
Does the majority
The text says. So
Does
the
majority
text
of Christians
says
pray like
Jesus- So the text says
Hold on.
that
does the majority
Jesus
of Christians pray like that?
Black doctor, hold on.
Yeah.
Does the majority pray like that?
Ali. So what you're doing now, my friend, is that you came up, you said, "Oh, guys, I'm just asking questions. Look at you. Look at the comment sections going." You know why the comment sections are making the comments that they are? Is because we know your type.
I'm not.
We see you guys.
You're being
all the time.
stereotypical and racist.
Like, we know exactly what you.
You're being
what you
very
and
stereotypical.
like in life. And so you try to come up here
You're being
trying to pretend that
stereotypical.
you're asking honest questions, and when you get your answers, you fight it. You
How am I
struggle.
fighting it? I
And
literally
then-
agreed.
and then
I
you begin to-
agreed.
Then you begin to lie.
I
and things
agreed
of
that
this
it
nature.
wasn't confirmed. How am I lying? You're committing
So
you're committing a sin by lying right now in front of everybody.
So Ali, stop interrupting me, bro. Stop interrupting me, or you're out of here.
No,
man.
why
It's
are
as
you
simple as
lying
that.
on my name?
I'm trying to keep. I've been gracious with you. All right, goodbye.
You're lying
Goodbye.
on my name.
We've been gracious
I
with you. Get out of here. Get out of here. You exposed. You manifested. You showed your colors. And the thing is we know exactly your type. We know when we see a dishonest Muslim from 400 miles away, we can see you guys. Seriously. Notice how we give you the benefit of the doubt in the beginning, even though we know, like, we could, by the way you talk, by the way you come off, we know you're, like, we've been there, done that, man. But still, in love, we give everybody a chance until they show themselves, and you did. Okay? Next time, I'm trying to be a little bit more slick.
Right, and by the way, what he said...
The next person that interrupts me is going to get prayed for. Shut it. Okay? Now, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, bro.
He about laggy as hell. Nobody know what you say. But no, what he said about the whole 90% thing, mind you, majority of the Christians in this world, right? Catholics, 50%, right? And then 20% Orthodox, right? Catholics and Orthodox, right? They're the majority of it. They pray like this, and Protestants do as well. I do that, right? What's it called? Black Dog said he does that. So yes, we do that. Y'all talking about what? 50% of Catholics and then 20% of Orthodox. That's what? 70%. 70% of the Christians at most definitely pray like this.
Don't even forget the Anglicans, because the Anglicans are the third largest Protestant group, and we still do it.
I wanted to say something.
80. That's already about 80. 80 people actually do it. 80% of Christians actually do it. So it's a lie. It's actually the reverse.
And then I make up the rest of the 20%.
That's right. Yes, sir. He makes up the 20% all on his own. Let's go.
And here, let me actually show a source on like he did, right? Let me actually show a source instead of saying, oh yeah, the 90%. Actually, no, it was 95. No. Yeah, I can actually show sources, right? Unlike him, right? Who just says things and then says it's anecdotal. Like, what's going on, man?
Wait, so are you gonna
bring up earlier?
Show what that said,
bro.
It's just showing the percentage of.
Bro was going around saying it was anecdotal. I don't think he knew what words were. The word he was looking for was hyperbole, an exaggeration of a statement.
Like just tried to get away with something. He just gonna flash, show a little graphs and not explain.
Like, would you like me to show it again?
So tell us what that is.
Man, pulling a central, bro. He pulling a central. Don't even actually read the source.
I don't have a second device. I don't have a second device.
You guys, you're right. You're right. This thing is actually saying that all of them are.
You see, I can show sources too. Anybody can flash a graph on there, man. What is that?
I gotta head out, but I'm gonna listen though. But I gotta bounce. God bless you guys.
Light just got exposed. All right, take care, John. Light just got exposed, man.
Man, don't expose me though. Don't show it to the public. Keep it here.
Hello.
Light.
Hello. Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm coming. Wait for me. Who's speaking?
Your internet kind of doo-doo. Like the Sani guy.
This is Muritala speaking.
Now, Muslims, we don't turn to the right and to the left and talk to supposed angels. So we don't do that when we pray, but we do bow down when we pray. So.
Can I go on?
Good gin and the bad gin. Yes.
Yeah, so please, my question to you on the panel is, can you tell me your strongest argument why you think Islam is false?
Anybody want to take that? Wait, I haven't heard from Amin. Amin, you want to take that?
I think he needs a stronger internet before he can actually ask for like stronger arguments.
I mean, the strongest argument against Islam is always going to be the historical arguments. Because at the end of the day, they're always going to do bid'ah. And they're going to say, oh, it doesn't mean this, it doesn't mean that, with whatever verse you pull. But they're not going to be able to argue against historical inaccuracies. So the biggest one that the Quran makes is the story of the crucifixion. So that's going to, in my opinion, that's the biggest historical blunder. But yeah.
I agree. Oh, I mean, and the argument of the crucifixion flows into the big argument, which is the Islamic dilemma. Because I mean, it makes historical claims about the prophets of the past and about the books of the past, and then it contradicts the books of the past that it affirms the truthfulness of. And so if the Quran is true, then the Quran is false because it affirms the truthfulness of the previous scriptures. So when we look to the previous scriptures and they contradict the Quran, then the Quran is false. But if the previous scriptures are false, then the Quran is false because it tells us about the truthfulness of the previous scriptures. Auzubillah, the Quranic dilemma.
I think the biggest argument is the text. The Quran it's an awful text in relationship to the Old and the New Testament. And then you have about maybe 17 prophets named in the Quran. Half of them are named after Yahweh. One of them's name literally means my God is Yahweh. So who the heck is Allah? There's not one prophet named after Allah. Right, so that's a dead giveaway right there. Like, whoever was taking this information should have changed those names.
Hi guys, can I just ask something to the Christians?
I'll tell you. Just 1 second, one second.
All right.
1 second. The strongest argument that I would say for Islam is Sahih al-Bukhari 304. Where he's talking about what he saw, who takes up most of the hellfire, and it's mostly women, and the reason why, because they're deficient in their religion and they're deficient in their brain and their mind. Or I think that's the closest thing to truth that I've seen in my experience in 2024. That kind of proves that Muhammad might have known what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. That's the argument that I would use if I was a Muslim. But you guys can go ahead. Sorry.
Avery coming in hot.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, like, how Jesus used to live, right? Like how that time history was and everything, and the current world that we're living, or the current generation that we're living. Like for the Christians, don't you guys just like think sometime that the way Muslims live, like without being negative about it, like the way Muslims carry themselves and women or men, how they dress or how they speak or whatever they do, right? Don't you guys feel like it aligns more with how Jesus and how he used to teach his people how to live? Like I feel like most Christians, like if you're to see most of you guys, I don't feel like alcohol is really it's not really like prohibited, like it's allowed for you guys, right? Or women, like it's not really strict for you guys women to dress modern. I think there is, but like it's not really that serious, right? Like it's not really like a force on women or something. And when it comes to Islam, like it's so serious about it, and like with our generation, like it's the most it's the most thing that most people run to. Like they run to the women, they'd be like, oh, she's a Muslim lady, she's dressed properly, they respect her more, compared like to a Christian lady who just claims, oh, I'm a Christian, but they don't really
drop them. So again, so the question is, do Muslims behave in the exact same way that the people of Jesus' time did? The answer is no. Number one, when Jesus addressed God, yeah, he didn't do that. he addressed God as his father and commanded us.
Okay, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Sorry. I didn't mean exactly Jesus like you. I meant like how he taught women of his time, his time. That's what I meant.
Ma'am,
not Jesus as a person.
You've already made your point. You've already made your point.
No, I was just trying to make it easier for you.
Yeah, I understand your point. I understand your point. I'm just pointing out that it's not the case. Because when Jesus taught us Number one, this is not just merely about external things, it's about internal things, first and foremost, and it will express itself on the outside. Number one, Jesus, when he taught us to pray, when he taught us to address God, he taught us to address God as his Father. Muslims don't do that at all. In fact, it is haram. To say that Allah has a son is to cause the earth to shake and split apart and the heavens to split apart. However, Jesus taught us to do just that. Number two, Jesus declared all foods clean. And the first miracle that he did was at a wedding, the wedding at Cana. And what he did is that he turned water into wine. So
It's water.
It's not a problem at all.
Water.
Water. Water. Jars of water into wine. The finest wine. The finest wine. So, and when it comes to modesty, Christians know something about modesty because we have been veiling ourselves. Women have been veiling themselves.
No, not really. It's not really strict. I'm just saying that.
Ma'am, the
Don't give me a 1% of your women that veil themselves. Go out in the street and you see how much women veil themselves.
Keeps bringing this guy up, bro.
Who keeps bringing this guy up?
No mods bring that guy up. Like, real talk, bro. Just everybody chill.
Exactly. So the moment I actually point out that women actually veil themselves, the comments come out and they start objecting. No, Christian women have been veiling themselves. One of the earliest documents that we have of the early church is of Tertullian's book of the veiling of the virgins.
Okay, but it's
Christians have been veiling themselves for a long time. We don't wear a hijab because we don't believe that our men are so uncontrollable that you have to cover your own face in order for someone to not want to do dingy with you. We believe that our men are stronger than that.
Listen, the way you're talking is like you're just trying to fight Islam, even if you're gonna go and add words. I just said a simple point that I feel like at some point the Islam, the way we lead life, it's more likely with how the time of Jesus, what he used to preach. You guys do this, you guys do this. I feel like even Islam implies more of those rules, not rules exactly, sorry, but the teaching of him than Christianity. But
Hamia. According to you, historically, what did Jesus preach, and can you prove it?
Okay, Jesus preached to pray to God, right? And not to lie, not to kill, not to steal.
Wait, hold on. You said he taught us how to pray. How did he teach us how to pray?
You just said that he taught you when you're praying, you pray to call the Father. That's teaching, right? Isn't it?
There you go. So you said that you follow Jesus' teachings. Do you call Allah Father?
Okay. Can I explain that? I wanted to explain, but I thought maybe you think I'm arguing. Okay, let me explain that point and how I understand it, all right? Then if you go, then you teach me how you think about it.
Okay, welcome back, guys. I believe you enjoyed watching this video. Let us know your views in the comment section. Don't forget to share this video with your friends, family, subscribe to this channel. If you've not done so, share this video with your friends, your family, and like this video as well. As hilarious as what this first Muslim guy considered cooked, remember when he made that statement that Sheikh Uthman cooked Godlogic? What actually happened was that Uthman claimed that there was a hadith that called the prophets Messiah. There was a hadith that called all the prophets Messiahs, and Avery asked him to provide the hadith. Uthman told Avery that he would have it in the following week, that Avery should come back the following week, that he will have the hadith ready for Avery to explore, to know which of the hadiths say that all the whole previous prophets were called the Messiahs. When Avery showed up, Uthman came with a printed piece of paper which included a commentary and not the hadith he had promised earlier. So he included it as a commentary and not the hadith. Uthman, the liar, tried to pass it off as hadith to Avery, not knowing that Avery has studied fast and he knows what hadith is and what someone just prints out as a form of hadith. So no one is cooking when they are lying and misrepresenting his scriptures. So Uthman invented his own hadith, misrepresenting his own scripture to every that it was a hadith. So you can see that there is no level these guys will not go to win a debate, even if it means discrediting their own holy book. And many of these Muslims don't know what to believe anymore. In a bid to make it look like Jesus is irrelevant, they are gradually denying the core foundation of their faith, saying Jesus is not the Messiah, is denying one of the tenets of Islam, plunging the whole faith in a different theological chaos. If Jesus prayed, bowing his face to the ground has made him a Muslim, that same Bible that you found where Jesus bowed his head to pray also told you that Jesus prayed looking up to heaven also. So why are you as a Muslim not praying looking up to God the same way Jesus prayed? You only pick the one that you feel that supports your debate and then leave the rest. It shows that you are a hypocrite and the truth is not in you. So applying some of this their logic in so many other instances, you realize that it is not applicable in all of it. It's just the part that supports their argument. The way Jesus prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane, where he bowed his face, he bowed there until he was done with his prayers. He didn't stand up the way a Muslim stands up at interval while praying. He was there till he was done with his prayer before he stood up for the first time. Then he came back again and bowed himself. After he was done, he now stood up for the second time until he was done with his prayer. So the one Muslim stand up at interval to pray and then prostrate again to pray and then stand up. That was not how Jesus did his prayer. So it was a different thing entirely. And also the way the Jews normally pray was the same way Jesus prayed. So are you now telling us that the Jewish people are also Muslims for praying the same way Jesus prayed? Because that was how the Jewish people also prayed. So you can see that their argument does not hold in all instances. Guys, thank you for watching this video. Share it with your friends, family. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so. Thank you for watching. We'd love to see you in our next video.